up, everybody? Master Dark Boy Gaming. I am Dark Boy, and welcome to the channel. This is Disc Golf Valley, episode 18, Lost Island. So, Lost Island can be a very fun hole. It's got a good combination of hazards, technical shots available. Basically, with this first shot, if you're a new player and you don't have a long disc, you'll see you throw a recoil or something short, you won't make it all the way. The best thing you can do is just lay up to the front island from your tee and then just put a good mid-range shot to get a good approach on the basket. If you do that, you'll walk away with the par no problem. And this is actually a very simple hole. Now, if you have a water skipper or a longer disc, you can just throw straight from the tee, straight to the basket, and you'll make it. Hole 2 here is fun because if you're a new player, you might not know about this hole shot over here. If you aim over here to the right and you pick the right disc with the right angle, when you throw, you'll go straight through this hole and you will fade directly into the putting green. It is easy to mess that throw up. It's easy to hit the obelisk, go into the water, not make it through the tunnel, the hole. So you have to be careful, but it's worth it because you can easily make this shot here and take away the birdie. Okay, with this hole, I find that it can be a little difficult. It depends on what you prefer to throw. If you throw the correct forehand, which that was not, you'll land on the left side of the creek here, and then you'll have to potentially throw through some trees that might slap your disc down into the water. If you land on the right side of the creek here, you could throw a couple different choices of shots, but if you throw the right one, you'll see you can approach right over to the green. It's unfortunate I went in the water, but you saw how that would work. And then with a nice nice clean putt, you walk away with birdie, again assuming no hazard. So I find that you can throw to the right of the creek and then have an approach shot. But if you just down club and throw right over here to this left side, I know that the distance isn't a whole lot different, but I feel like this is a much better way to approach the tee just because, of course I missed, just because when you're coming from the other side and throwing, it feels like, and I could be wrong, it could just be opinion, but it feels like you have more stuff in your way versus that side where it feels like there's not really anything in your way. Just opinion there. On this hole, a good forehand will get you right through the mouth of the cave, give you a good lie. It's really not a complicated throw. For the second throw, I've shown you before, you could high-five the ceiling, essentially, and plop down in between the two water hazards. If you throw some curve on it, you might even land closer to the green. But I like showing this line to my friends because all the people that I know that have played this game, they just didn't know about this line. And I didn't come up with this line. I discovered it playing multiplayer. And ever since I saw it, I was hooked. I love that line, especially when it works real super nice because it'll plop you down on the green for a good easy putt. But anyway, yeah, it's a pretty fun hole. Alright, so with this hole, you got to be careful. If you throw a forehand and you throw an extra turn disc, you could go to the left side and around that pillar of stone there, and you'll end up in the water. It's very easy to hit that piece of stone you just saw me hit, but if you do throw that correctly, you should land by the other pillar of stone that's in front of me right now. And if you do land over here, then this, what would be your second shot, is easy to put up on the green for an easy birdie. If you do hit something like you saw me do, getting over here is super important because throwing up here, even though the shot is makeable, it's risky. You can have a lot of things go wrong. I've had lots of discs roll down this little embankment into the water. So it's good to play the smart play on the green shot there. This hole is a nightmare, and in my opinion, is probably the hardest hole in the game. I've seen many people crush on this hole. Not for me, I'll tell you what. I struggle with this hole Almost every single time I play it, I have yet to find a disc that I can throw consistently to land down in the proper space. Almost always I clip a rib. So for the new player, practice this drop shot. It will save you, most definitely save you a stroke in multiplayer, because a ton of people miss this throw. So it's worth the time. I have seen people throw out of the mouth of this cave, across the river, and land over by the mine shaft. I have only had it happen to me once in my main profile with my captain, Big Skip. Outside of that, I almost always land over on this side of the creek. If you do, the best thing you can do is just remember to stay to the left side of where you're currently standing. The water hazard over there is way more deceptive than you might think. It's very easy to skip, slide, roll right into the water. If you just keep yourself dry with the correct sequence of shots, you should par this very easily if you're a new player, and you should birdie it if you're even somewhat of an experienced player, and you should eagle it if you're a really good player. At least that's just been my experiences so far. Oh, just a little more and that would have been it. Yeah, this is a great hole to practice. It's high level difficulty in my opinion. All right, now I believe that this hole is worse looks-wise. I think that with the correct disc, it's actually pretty easy to make it all the way to the far island. The way the wind carries you and the drop, it usually works better than you might think. If you throw an extra turn disc that's got higher speed, you might sail far right and not mean to. You also, if you're a new player, you can throw a putter off the tee and it will land right on the land before you, and then you can have a great second, which should get you up to this hill area, and then your third will get you in. So even if you have like a putter or just a medium range disc and you can't make it all the way across the water, this hole is still easily parable even in those worst conditions. So it's just about staying out of the water with this one. All right, everybody. This is Master Dark Boy Gaming. I am Dark Boy. Thank you so much for joining me, and if you enjoyed the content, please like and subscribe, and hopefully we'll see you in the future.